talk about the 5 steps of success in internet marketing. And I actually got this from a hangout with one of the gurus, and I will make sure that I put that link in my blog post so that you can see the whole training if you want. And there's a lot more little nuggets of gold and knowledge in that presentation. So, if you want to learn more, make sure you go there. So, step 1, which I already mentioned in my short version of this video if you got there from Facebook or YouTube. The step 1 is content marketing. So here's the thing. When you're out on social media, which right now there is a huge social media boom, so you're going to want to make sure that you're present out there. And when you're out there on social media as a user, you're really out there to see pictures of your family and friends and talk about what you're doing. And the only reason why a lot of people, most of the time, the majority of the time, go out and search for information, it's to be entertained, it's to be educated, and it's to be inspired. So make sure that you put content out there that does one of those 3 things. And people will click on it, and that's how you get out there. You provide them value. That's what they're looking for. If they're buying, that's a total different type of marketing concept, and you have to make sure you're out there when they're using buying keywords, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about the 5 things that all successful internet marketers have in common. So, content marketing, when I think of content marketing, I think of blogging in general. And a lot of people would, blogging is content, and there's a lot of blogs out there. So that's a whole nother course which you can find on my website. You can start with the elements of the perfect blog. But you can also provide content via videos, webinars, podcasts, education, courses. There's a lot of ways to do it. Do not go out there spamming your affiliate links and such. That's just not the way to do it. You want to put value, education, inspiration, entertainment out there for them to absorb, and then you build your list by having a lead magnet. And you put it somewhere on your post. You're like, your call to action is basically go over here and download my free ebook or download my MP3 or whatever. Like on this particular post, what I'm using is my free ideas for content. You never run out of ideas if you use that list. And then I also have an MP3 that I recorded in case you're like me and you're a busy mom and most of your content is absorbed through audio in my car. So that's why I put the MP3 out there. So anyway, capture the email because you want to build your list. The money is in your list. The fortune is in the follow-up, which we'll talk about later. Anyway, so you want to build your list. Now, some people will tell you, some gurus will consider your audience on social media a list also. I consider it a little bit more of a cold audience out there unless you're building a relationship with them through community. And yes, some of your lists on social media, your audience, you might consider your list or a slightly warmer than cold market. But the thing is that if you do anything to make Facebook mad or Twitter, or your account could get shut down. So in general, if you keep it clean, I have a whole nother post on that too. If you're on my website, you can go find that on how to avoid being banned. So you want to capture their email so they're on their list. And if you need lead generation ideas too, if you go to my freebies tab, you'll find a lead magnet template, I believe it's called. But I'll show you how. Step 3 is monetization. You want to monetize your blog, your website. You want to have more than one product out there for them to pick from. You also want to have what some call a value letter or an upsell, so that you get a customer to buy a low-end product, but you want to provide them more, because if they really like that product, they're going to want more. They even might want coaching or membership into your organization or masterminds. So this is all ways that you can monetize your information. The fortune is in the follow-up. I don't know how many people I run into that insist on not talking to people. And it's a little bit frustrating because, it's a lot easier to pick up a phone and talk to someone than it is to text back and forth. And some people don't even do that. So make sure you engage with your audience and follow up with them. The very first email I send out, I give them my phone number. Call me, and we'll have a free 15-minute session. I don't know if my screen's still, oh, there we go. Next step is traffic, and that's the last step. And the reason why it's last is because there's a big learning curve there. So you want to run ads, boost posts, whatever, to get people to your content. So these are just different ways that you can get traffic. So in a nutshell, you create content, you capture the leads, you make the sales, you follow up with your customers and your leads. This is like a continuous circle, and traffic is the paid traffic that you send over there, organic traffic that you send over there. The best way to get organic traffic, by the way, right now is using live feeds, because that's the newest thing. So that is it. You got your 5 steps. This is very basic, but underneath all of this, there is training on each section. There's training on all the details that you can get in EMP, which is the system I'm using. Now, what's cool about it is I actually start on step 5. You just learn to get traffic to content, because EMP actually has content that's written for you. And when you learn to drive the traffic, you'll get the leads. And what is also cool is EMP will follow up for you, and you'll make your sales. This is all built for you. And then in the back end, while you're learning each individual component, then you can basically kick off the training wheels and go make your own products and whatever. You can think a lot bigger once you learn all of those steps. Boy, I should make sure that my screensaver doesn't come on. Anyway, so I hope you got value from that. Make sure you go to LearnWithGinny.com and check out the whole post and all the links and freebies, and then make sure you ask me about the system that I'm using that you can use too, which is very cool, and I will personally help you get through the steps and personally help you set up your first ad. Make it a great day.